Are you overthinking your RV solar? Many people get their solar system sizing wrong. Learn why bigger isn't necessarily better and how to find your RV solar sweet spot for the perfect power on the road without the headaches or wasted money. Hi, I'm Hutch with Freedom in a Can, and in this video, we're going to help you find that balance between what you want to power and the right components to do it.
And you better hurry with those holiday deals around the corner and that 30% tax rebate ending at the end of the year. Now is the time.
What she said. And we've created a free downloadable worksheet that's going to walk you through each step of the way of planning out your own system. And last spring, we've installed a very robust system on our friend's school bus conversion project. So we're going to use that system as an example to walk you through this valuable resource. So let's get right into it. So head on over to freedominacan.com. That's our website. You can find that link also down in the video description. If you go to our solar resources page, you'll see this download link right here. The solar system sizing worksheet. You click the download. You're going to open it up in Excel. And it comes up. The first thing you need to do is click this enable editing button. Otherwise, you can't do anything with it. And then now this document is basically yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can share it. We just ask that you give us credit. Now along the bottom, you're going to see these 10 color-coded tabs. Each of these represents a step along your journey to solar independence. It's going to help you organize yourself. It's going to help you calculate your total watt hours and plan out your system. Now the first tab is going to be the instructions, just how to use this worksheet. The second tab is where you're going to calculate your total daily watt hours. The third tab is going to be where we take those daily watt hours and we're going to build a battery bank that's big enough for it, how much solar we're going to need, and then the size of your charge controller and your inverter. And then the remainder of the tabs are talking about solar panels. So this tab talks about all the options that you have on solar panels, gives you an example, place to enter what options you want, and then it also gives you this learning center where there are so many resources, articles that we've written, others we think are great examples, also some installation videos to help you figure out how you're going to install those solar panels. And then charge controller has the same thing, DC to DC. Again, that learning center, everything related to DC to DC options. There's battery options, inverter options, and of course wiring. There's an example down here of what we've done. And then the total order is just going to help you organize yourself so that you can place that order. It's not going to do the order for you. That's way beyond our purview. All right, let's talk about that total watt hours calculation. Now here, this is where you're going to enter in the appliances that you want to do. And so I've gone ahead and I've put in Jacob's load assessment. I put in the appliances here into the worksheet, but let me just show you how it works. So he's got some lights. That's a DC appliance. All of his DC lights are about 40 watts altogether. He's going to run those lights for about 4 hours a night. That gives us a total daily watt hours of 160 watt hours. Now you can look and see we've got the vent fan, 36 watts, 4 hours a day. That's going to be 144 watts. There's the diesel heater, and you can see there's the cooler at 390 watts. I want to point out here that there's an AC load as well. So let's say they're going to use a laptop. You can choose AC load. It's a 300 watt laptop. Maybe you're only going to charge it like half an hour a day. That's going to be 0.5 hours for a total 150 watt hours per day, because they're really not going to use their laptop too much. Going down to something like hair dryer, you're going to choose AC. It's a high wattage appliance, 1500, but you're really not going to use it very often. Maybe a couple minutes a day or a couple minutes averaged over a couple of days. So we're just going to put 0.05 hours per day, which equals a total of 75 watt hours. So even though the load is really high, you're not actually using it for that long. Now, if you see something that you don't have in the list we've already created, like down here, he's added a water pump. You can just type that right into these open cells down here, and it'll still calculate everything for you. So the DC water pump is 12 volt appliance. Its max amps is 6.75 amps. So that gives you an 81 watts. Maybe we'll use that water pump 1 hour a day. Again, 81 watt hours. And what the worksheet will do is that it will add up all of your watt hours to give you a total magic number at the end of your day. So you can mess around with this, see what you want to run, and see the kind of system that you need based on that. So we've got a total watt hours of about 1,500 watt hours per day. The DC watt hours is 1,275. The AC watt hours, that's again alternating current, 225. Max load, now the max load in AC is going to be 1,800 because that's based on that hair dryer, right? Pulling a whopping 1,500 watts. Okay, let's take this number and we're going to go to the second tab. Step 2, calculate the size of your solar powered system. It brings in those numbers from your total watt hours calculations. So you got 1,500 watts daily. Max load is 1,800 watts of AC. Down here, we're going to put in the amount of days we want to go without sunlight, the number of sunlight charging hours per day, and that's going to spit out what we need in terms of a battery bank, a solar array, a charge controller, and an inverter. So let's go through this. So let me just point out real quick that any of these tabs with this little red triangle is going to sort of give you the assumptions of how these calculations are made. So you can check those out. It's going to give you some information if you want to know how are you getting these calculations. And you can see them right here. So looking at sunlight availability, if we need to know where are we going to be in the United States and how much sunlight do we have per day, you can find this link right here. And that's going to give you the average amount of sunlight for a number of cities in the United States. So let's say we're going to go to Arizona for the winter. If you look at Phoenix, the summertime average is 7 hours, 0.13, and the wintertime average daily is 5.78 hours. So the annual average, 6.58. So it depends on where you're going to be as to how much sunlight you're going to get, and you can make an average based on where you're traveling, but that's where we're getting that information. So if you go back to the worksheet, days without sunlight, we're going to assume that we're going to get some charging every day, some kind of charging, and we're going to get about 5 hours. So we're just going to use that as our number. That's a good average for the summertime. Say, okay, if you need 1,500 watt hours a day and you've got 5 hours of sunlight, this is the size battery bank you need. So I also want to point out here on the worksheet that any of these cells that are outlined in color is a place where you can make a choice and you can enter a different number than what the worksheet automatically calculates for you. So if we go down to battery bank here, and again, based on 1,500 watts per day, if we choose a different size battery, like say a 200 amp hour battery, it's going to change the numbers of how many batteries we need. But based on that 1,500 watt daily watt hours, if we chose a lead acid chemistry, we would need 300 amp hours in order to make that every single day. But in a lithium iron phosphate, we only need 153, or really 154 amp hours. So we're well overpowered with Jacob's 3 100 amp hour batteries that we've already got in the system. But we're building this bus system big enough so that he can expand. Okay, looking at solar array, we can choose different size wattages of the solar panels. So let's go ahead and go down to 320. Now there are bigger solar panels than 320, but most RVers and buses are not going to install something bigger than 320. You can see they're pretty big on the top of that roof. Based on 1,500 watt hours per day, based on 5 hours of sunlight per day, we need a solar array with an output of 345 watts, and we are choosing 320 watt panels. That means we need 2. So we have an appropriately sized solar array with our two 320 watt panels. But we could have chosen something else. We could have chosen 200 watts, we could have chosen 100 watts, and you can see how that'll change the system right here. Again, we'll go back to 320, 2 solar panels at that. Okay, based on how you set up your panels, either in parallel or in series, you will need different specs for the charge controller. So we've chosen 320 watt panels. We need to have a charge controller with a minimum ratings of 24.3 input. That means it can handle what the solar panels are giving it in amps and also in volts. And if you set those solar panels up in series, it's going to give you different specs, but again, you've got to have a charge controller that can handle that. Okay, so then when it comes to your inverter, you've got that max load, 1800 watts, but that's not going to be your expected load. That's like if you were running all your AC appliances at one time, that's the max load, but you're not likely going to do that. So if you go back to here, you might say, okay, well, what was my AC load? Well, my AC load was a hairdryer at 1500 and a laptop at 300. I'm not going to run those together. Maybe I'm only just going to run the hairdryer by itself. I might only have an expected AC load 1500 watts at any one time. So what that's going to give me a minimum inverter size of 1825, and that's calculated based on a safety factor so that your inverter is not overloaded. So again, looking at the inverter that we did choose, that 2000 watt inverter charger, we're well above that minimum inverter size. So we've got that safety margin in play. Our 320 watt solar panels, our 50 amp DC to DC charger, and our 2000 watt inverter charger are all appropriately sized based on our total watt hours calculation. And you can see that when you go here into solar panels, it carries over that information that you put into the solar system calculator. If I go over to charge controllers, it carries over that information here so you can see what's going on. When I go down to batteries, it reminds me, oh yeah, this is what my batteries needed. And so I can make those decisions there. And then inverter size, it carries again that calculation over to show you what you need on each tab so that you can stay organized. We created this worksheet a few years ago. We continue to add on to it. We continue to make changes and improvements. So reach out to us with any comments or questions about this worksheet. We want to make this a better resource for you and all folks who want to go solar. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the road.